Hello. Once upon a time there was an ostrich. The ostrich was being chased by a group of hunters firing arrows at the ostrich, and obviously the ostrich was scared for its dear life. Out of its fear, it poked its head into the sand. A lot of people, in fact, probably the majority of the world, has a similar attitude to climate change. We think that if we are not bothered about climate change is not bothering us. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Climate change is disrupting our lives in significant ways, and we need to take notice. Please take a look at this graph. It's a temperature plot for the average temperature of the world over the past 2000 years, and the average has been considered a datum. And then what you notice is that there's a steep rise over the past 200 years. That rise has been more than 1 degree centigrade over this period. This is an increase at a pace at which human beings cannot handle it in the long run, other species of animals cannot handle it in the long run, even plants cannot handle it in the long run, and there would be many microbes that will disappear because of something as sinister as this happening. We are already witnessing a shrinkage of our water bodies, our freshwater bodies. We are dealing with drinking water crisis in many parts of the globe. We are witnessing disruptions in agricultural systems across the globe. We are witness to extreme weather events like cloudbursts, flash floods, extreme dry spells, prolonged dry spells. And we are also witnessing changes in the life cycles of plants and animals and other organisms. Biodiversity is disappearing. You can keep on adding to this list, and you come to a realization that there is one single source. That is, the earth is warming up at a speed at which it is not used to. This warming is human-induced. It is not part of the natural cycle of the globe where climate changes. But those climate changes are gradual, far more gradual than this change. We need to do something about it. The good news is that a lot can be done provided we get together to do it. There are 3 main approaches to handling climate change. One is mitigation, the other is adaptation, and the third is geothermal engineering. I am an advocate for mitigation. By mitigation, we mean stopping those human activities which are heating up the globe, and finding alternatives to those set of activities. Mitigation does not mean just simply stopping living in an air conditioner and doing nothing about it. Mitigation actually means taking care of the source from which the electricity that runs into the air conditioner is being produced. So if you have an air conditioner running on solar energy, you are into mitigation. But if you're running the air conditioner on energy produced from coal or from oil, then you are adding to the climate change crisis. There are so many strategies, and we can talk about that. The other approach is adaptation, which in my view is important because human beings will have to adapt to a significant measure to the amount of wreckage that has been caused. I'm showing you this map of India, in fact the Indian subcontinent, and the portions marked in red are portions where human life is endangered because of rising sea levels. The Lakshadweeps are critical, the Andamans are critical, so are many cities and areas on the Indian coastline. Bangladesh, probably 1/3 of Bangladesh is critical. There are portions in Pakistan that are critical, the portions in Sri Lanka that are critical, and this story repeats itself across the length and breadth of the globe. So these populations will have to be moved, infrastructures will have to be built, and that all amounts to adaptation at a very large scale, and we'll have to engage in that. The third approach, often considered and debated, is geothermal engineering, by which is meant that something huge is done at the scale of the planet and climate change is pushed back. One of the options often discussed is placing a shield between the sun and the earth so that this incidence of sunlight on the earth is reduced, and the arguments are that even if it's reduced by 2%, it will result in a cooling of the climate by 1.5 degrees centigrade. On paper this looks fine, but the problem is that we understand very little about the earth systems to tinker with them at this level. So I'm not an advocate of geothermal engineering, I'm actually an opponent of it. However, if you would like to discuss the climate change crisis, if you would like to discuss the reasons for the climate change crisis in depth, and if you would like to discuss the solutions to the crisis, I'm Hardeep, and I'm present for any kind of discussion you would like to have. You could be a group of friends, you could be an organization interested in social and human welfare, you could be a business entity interested in discussing climate change under your corporate social responsibility. You could be anything. I would be most interested in talking to you. The larger the group, the better it is. So my contact details are here. Please reach out to me if you're interested. अगर आप ये सारी बातचीत हिंदी में करना चाहते हैं तो भैया मैं उपलब्ध हूँ. ये सारी एक एक बात हम हिंदी में कर सकते हैं. जे तुसी पंजाबी हो ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਮੈਂ ਉਹੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਗੱਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ 'ਚ ਕਰ ਲਈਏ. ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮੱਚ. ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ.